While the country is still seized with the developments in the Democratic Republic of Congo, there were also developments in Parliament around the Defense Department. The SIU says there are alleged procurement irregularities in the SANDF's Cuban medicine deal. Let's get more details now and speak to Kaizer Kganyago, SIU spokesperson, who joins us live now. Good evening to you, sir, and thank you so much for your time. So this investigation, where does it come from?
Good evening, and good evening to your viewers. This investigation has been coming for a long time. I think some of the proclamations were dating as far back as 2019, where we were looking at some of the issues that were relating to PPEs. And then there were also issues around Microsoft licensing. Therefore, they've been happening even prior to what is happening now.
And when then you look at this particular investigation, it speaks about a drug that was to be used as an immune booster for soldiers during the COVID-19 pandemic. What was going on there, and what for you raised alarm bells?
Yeah, we received allegations that the processes were not followed and monies were paid to the Cuban government for a drug which was basically meant, according to them, as a immune booster for the soldiers who will be out there during the lockdown. You remember at the time when they were moving around, to basically have an immune booster to deal with the fatigue and whatever that they might have and protect them against the pandemic. Therefore, we then looked at it and we found that there was something to investigate. And we found that, and we then included SAPRA, who was the health professionals, and they indicated that the drug is not fit for purpose, but money has already been paid. And I think the contract was about 217 million. And it was not even used. The bulk of it was sent back after we indicated to them that it is not, the processes followed were not correct, and the issue of the drug not being fit for purpose. Therefore, it was sent back, but now we need to get the money back from the Cuban government.
So were you able to engage with some in the department? Why would they purchase a drug that was not fit for purpose, did they say?
Yeah, we have information. It's just that unfortunate we can't give you detailed information around who said what. But the long and short of it is they could not dispute the facts that we were putting before them. And that is why we have made referrals for those that are still in the department to be dealt with. And then those that are not in the department and they might be involved, because some of the people resigned during that time. And if they are liable, we then had to go and freeze their pension.
So when you look at this particular matter, right, I know you speak about department officials. Is that where you're only looking when it comes to accountability? And then what happens with this 33 million rand?
Yeah, we are not only looking at that. We're looking at everybody who was involved in this. And then we are going to, we have already made referrals for prosecution to some of the people. But our main purpose here is to then get the money that is already paid to the Cuban government, to make sure that the money comes back to the department and it is used for other things that they might have shortages around.
Have you reached out to the Cuban government in this regard?
Yes, we have, but obviously it takes longer. You know, diplomatic issues take longer. It takes longer, but we have. We're doing it through our department here in the international relations in the country. And that is being dealt with as we speak.
There's a statement that I'm also seeing on your website from this afternoon, which speaks about a number of proclamations as well. It stays with the Department of Defense and speaks to serious maladministration in connection with the affairs of the department in connection to 2 tenders, investigating procurement, contracting for inventory verification, continuous asset verification, and the supply, delivery, installation and commissioning of an asset management system. Are you able to tell us more about that?
I can only say to you that that is a new proclamation that came now. Therefore, we haven't gone far in dealing with it. We dealt with it when we were preparing it for the president's signature, but now the investigation is about to start. And that's what we said to Parliament, to say there is also a new one that we are starting, and therefore we will not say much about it until we've gone into investigation. Because if we start speaking about the contents of what we are going to be looking at, people might make files disappear and all of that. Therefore, we need to be careful about it.
And the other proclamation that I'm also seeing as well this afternoon is that of the KwaDukuza municipality in KwaZulu-Natal.
No, definitely. There is those proclamations came out on Friday, and in all that one in KwaZulu-Natal is only procurement-related issues, and we are dealing with them as we speak. Also, a new one that, as I say, came on Friday. We don't have much to say except to say we are starting our investigation.
Yeah, and I also see there's another one into the Mpumalanga Department of Education as well. When you look at the, the fact that there are a number of schools here that are also said to be involved. So certainly a busy year it's going to be for the SIU. And I suppose it speaks to the issue of accountability when it comes to some of what is then probably uncovered in some of these investigations and the country's fight against corruption, I suppose.
No, definitely. The year started very fast for us because the proclamations are out there, and you must remember we are also in this particular year chairing the G20 anti-corruption meetings, and then we also have the Commonwealth coming this way. When we are hosting them, it's going to be a very busy year. But what I can say to you is, for us, is the issue of consequence management. People need to understand that it's not enough to just go and say we found the following. There must be reaction, either from the NPA, there must be reaction from the police, and there must be reaction from our side in terms of getting the monies back. Therefore, this year is going to be about accountability and nothing else. And
I see when it comes to this Cuban medicine deal, there's also some agreements that were signed after the delivery of medicine. And also, as you speak about some of the officials, are you going to go back to Parliament when it comes to this matter, or is it now only going to be left to the Department of Defense to then come and account?
Yeah, I think when the department goes to SCOPA to account, we have been requested to also be there. But also the matter is given to the president in a form of a report. And then there is also a mechanism in the presidency that will follow up all of those referrals that we have made to make sure that they are implemented.
All right, let's see what happens then. And when can the department, make its appearance in SCOPA, and also at the same time, as you say, what becomes of these investigations into the new proclamations that you've now been able to acquire. Thank you so much for your time.